Well, hey, y'all, and welcome
To
to
shade
Shade and the City. I am your girl, Treese.
his nose.
And today, of course, we are here to get into none other than the BMF Season 4, Episode 2, Discovery. Okay. What's up, DeMarcus? I'm so sorry for being tardy, y'all. Blame it on me, all right? But thank you for being here, DeMarcus. The episode was a solid 8. I didn't get to finish the last 10 minutes. I was just telling Nels. That's why I was a little late today. But thank y'all for being patient with me. You know, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you, DeMarcus. Look at you being a good virtual co-host and filling in while we're not here. We appreciate you, brother. Nels, what do you think about Lucille? Oh, look, she told me about that before I even watched it. She was like, girl, wait till you see it.
Marcus, what do you expect me to think? I mean, I'm riding for Lucille to the wheels fall off.
Right. Hey,
Charles, I feel like she said what needed to be said.
And happy Father's Day to you as well, because I've seen your beautiful baby. She is gorgeous. But yeah, y'all, if you have not already, you know what, make it do what it do. Go ahead and hit that like button for us and let the algorithm, marinate, coagulate, do what it need to do. Okay.
And that subscribe button.
Yes. Hey Steven, welcome. All right, so I'm gonna run this intro and go run and get my wine, and then I'll be back and we'll get into this episode. Let's get shady. I'm back. All right, y'all. So let's get into this episode. Like DeMarcus said, he felt like it was a solid 8. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments on what y'all thought. But anyway, so we see basically, hold on, let me get to the top of my notes. I was at the bottom. So we basically cut back to them being in the desert, and Loco is, I guess, cutting up a deer, which I'm so happy somebody said something because I didn't know what this was.
I literally said Loco cutting up something, but I don't know what it is.
And it is.
Look, I said, I hope it ain't another wolf because he's trying to feed it to the wolves.
Right. That's how I felt.
Okay, so it was a deer.
Yeah, it was a deer. So yeah, they supposed to be feeding this to the wolves so they don't come looking for them as a meal. And I said, well, damn, is it rough out there like that in the desert? The wolves come and eat the people? Like they're not looking for mice or armadillo or something like that. They looking for people. That's a little deep. VKJ said it was a 9 for him. DeMarcus said, Nels, you on the Virgo Libra cusp, so you're very, my birthday. He called you out for being on the cusp, girl.
DeMarcus, do you know my birthday?
Of course, we celebrate your birthday every year. Duh.
Remember? Like, and yes, I am. And yet, even if I wasn't, shoot, yes, I am loyal. Okay.
Yeah. You and DeMarcus are funny. So then Loco, so Terry's like, I'm not really feeling this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing whatever this is. I'm not trying to do this. And so Loco gets mad and he has, a weapon to his neck. I think I can say knife. He got a knife to the boy's neck. Okay. And so Meech was like, hold on, Loco. Don't go loco. Okay. And he convinces him, Terry's cool. So Meech tries to get Terry to stop complaining and tells him that, Loco knows what he's doing. You don't. And of course, Terry makes it clear that, look, I am not trying to be unalived here. So Meech tells Terry to stop being afraid because he can see the light. Okay. He synced it. And Terry mentions how, or Meech mentions how during this, oh no. And so he's like, oh, so what, you saw the light when you did this little ceremony? And then, yeah, we realized that Meech apparently said that, yeah, he saw God.
Oh my God.
Okay. And he and God told him that he was anointed. And I said, well, okay. Who said you need to go to church? And so yeah, Terry isn't feeling it, and Meech is like, well, that's your problem. You always thinking inside the box. You real small minded. You know what I'm saying? You like this, you know what I'm saying? And you stuck in your ways. And so Terry said, my brother, I don't know what happened to you, but you are not God. Calm down and have several seats. Okay. And I was like, well, look, Vacay said, oh, I was like, wow, oh my God. Right.
Says the man who tries to play God constantly.
Oh, y'all are jumping ahead. Y'all are really on this Lucille stuff. Y'all can't wait to get on Lucille. I'm loving it. Meech anointed, laugh out loud. And it's so funny because I ain't even gonna hold you, but it also, the wolf symbolizes Rick Ross and Jay Pusher. Okay, you got to go deeper with that, DeMarcus. If you're gonna come with something like that, you mean like the real, like Ricky Freeway Ross? Or is that what you mean? Or you mean like Rick Ross? You know what I'm saying?
I think he means Rick Ross.
Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead, Nails.
Big Meech, Larry Hoover. All right. So then we see Sterl. He wants to go see Terry and tell him everybody's talking about what happened to Lamar, but not who did it. So, he thinks something up. He think, B Mickey is the feds, basically. Terry said, well, we know who did it. I just hope he ain't working with the cops. He said that he owes what's the name? Sterl said that he owes B Mickey for saving him.
It's sterile, girl. He not sterile. It's sterile.
I feel like I just can't say it.
Like, it's funny because I knew what you meant, but I was laughing because I'm like, girl,
I just can't say it. I just can't say it.
I hope he not sterile. I hope you don't put that on him.
I know why when I say sterile, it just sounds like I'm talking like a bumpkin. But okay, Sterl said that he owes Big Mickey, but B Mickey, like, you messing me up now, okay? He was like, but don't do nothing without talking to Meech first. I mean, he told him, you know what, chill out, because Hoop is tracking him, and said if Meech even gave a damn about the D, he would have never disappeared after B Mickey popped up out of nowhere. And then he told him that his distro in South Carolina, that he has a distro in South Carolina because he's the only one trying to turn this half a ton vision into something tangible. And then we see Meech. He's talking to Duffy about this half a ton also. Meech wants to know if they're good for Loco's next shipment. And he said he's ready. He got all the whips from the broker over to Francois last week. And Meech said that, he's hearing that they're tearing down Techwood and they might have to redirect the weight. So Duffy said, we got time. Everybody gonna have to relocate her. So Meech told him that he does appreciate him holding it down while he was gone. And he said, you was the one out there risking it all with Loco. Okay. You had the work coming in, so we were still eating. He said, you know what? I was even able to put commissary on my father's books. So, you know what I mean?
I guess apparently his daddy's sick, or they never said what from.
He said his dad is not in good health. I mean, he's a prison child. It could be the food.
Not the food. Damn.
I mean, I would think anything can make you sick. You sneeze the wrong way. Okay. You sit on the toilet bowl. So Meech said, this is all the reason, this is all the more reason that you need to live your life to the fullest and, take care of yourself and your pops.
And then they go to the palace. Celebrate. Okay. Let's get into these comments. Steven says, Lucille just get to act innocent and holy after getting played by the doctor. Don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all, why y'all going so hard on my girl, Lucille?
What's the problem? What's the problem, Steven?
Lucille is garbage. DeMarcus, y'all.
Look. What's not clicking, Steven?
Right. I understand. Look, okay, so you know what? I was going to go light on y'all because it's Father's Day. Oh, but Charles going to get this work, this recap. See what you done started? Charles going to get this work. I was going to make it light for you because I said it's Father's Day. Let me not do this to Charles. I know the men like Charles, but we're going to get there when we get there, okay? DeMarcus said,
like Charles.
Of course. DeMarcus said, we got to lose Sterling Black. Is that his last name, Sterling Black? Or Duffy this season of... I agree. And can I tell y'all, I literally did not figure out what Duffy's name was until literally maybe 5 minutes ago before coming up here.
You know what's crazy?
When he said his name Duffy, all of my notes say Meech and his boy.
Do you remember last season? You was the one that kept on reminding me it was Duffy.
Duffy. This is why they can't be going off for this long.
And then I said, I don't know why I can't remember, because we know somebody named Duffy.
That's true. But she's a female.
But you always remembered.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's so true. I don't know how, because I definitely didn't. I was sitting there and I said, I know this man's name, but anyway.
I couldn't remember Sterl.
You know what? I think because they reminded me so many times last season what his name was, that it just stuck in my head. But I do believe we do have to get rid of one of the homeboys, if not both, because at the end of the day, it's the end of the season. So does it really matter who gets unalive?
I can see it being Hoop.
I can see it being Hoop too, especially at when we saw earlier.
Exactly.
Oh, look, here we go. Here go DeMarcus. Charles is actually an outstanding father.
You know what? It's been a long day. I don't have the energy to go back and forth.
Right.
Okay.
Steven said Nicole was deaf on that tight time, but Charles was holding Lucille back to save Nicole from getting yoked up. Right. And I ain't even gonna hold you. I love how Charles just sitting there like, oh, this is about to go left.
You didn't see when he first looked? He said,
yeah. He said,
it's about to go down.
Right. So y'all, B Mickey has come home. I ain't even gonna hold you. Thank God he said this girl name, because I had her name as Anita, but her name is Aisha.
Aisha.
Okay.
Yes. Anita.
Anita. Yeah. Blame it on Beyond the Gates. Anyway,
you just be making up names.
No, I blame it on Beyond the Gates.
Why did she play in that? She plays in that?
No, it's just one of the. I just saw an A name and I said, oh, I assumed it was Anita.
It's gotta be Anita. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, the sick child's name is V. I did get that. So Aisha lets him know that, look, these medical bills is piling up, sir, and we got to pay for this next surgery, and it's probably going to happen a lot sooner than expected. So I wish they would really tell us what's wrong with this little girl, but okay. So then B Mickey makes it clear that, look, I'm aware and I'm trying, okay? I'm trying my best. So she tells him, look, I know you're doing everything to get things back on track for us, but I don't know how long we can wait. And I said, well, you're going to wait till they get the money, because what else you going to do? Unless you're going to go out there and do something strange for a piece of change. Make it go, go holler for $1. I don't know, but you got to wait. Okay. Now, Detective Bryant has given Milton's father, don't know this man's name.
Like Daphne.
What happened? Oh, so he done gave Milton's father a ride home back to Techwood or whatever, and he's reminiscing on his memories of Milton, and basically he talks about how no one is willing to come forward with any information, and so Detective Bryant is lets him know that all the drug dealers are destroying the innocent lives in the communities, and so Milton's father tells him, look, I realize that you don't be sharing so much at the meetings. And he said, but I can recognize the look of loss in your eyes, sir. And he said, so I ain't gonna push it, but I know, I see it, okay? From one father to the next, all right? And he said, so, don't feel rushed to share anything until you ready, but you know what's up. I'm here. You can confide in me, all right? And then, as he leaves, Detective Bryant, because we know he has a terrible, terrible nicotine habit. As he leaves, he goes, oh, thank you. Look, there go our good old co-host. Abe is Milton's father.
I had Milton's father too. Milton's daddy.
Well, look, thank you, DeMarcus.
Father of Milton.
Right. So Detective Bryant goes over to borrow a lighter from somebody. And then from one of the goons, and they in Atlanta, so I guess you can't really call them goons. For a second, I thought they was back in Miami, so that's why what made me put goons. But anyway, so he goes to ask for a lighter when the Red Dogs roll in and start to cause chaos, and then they start beating the ish out of Detective Bryant, and that's what had happened. Hold on. I stand with Nicole. The bigger picture was she was gifted a stolen car. I absolutely agree, Stephen. I absolutely agree. DeMarcus, Hoop already got pow last season. You're right.
It's embarrassing as a pastor to have your daughter having sex in the back of the car.
That is true. That is true. But you know what? I mean, I don't know. I still, and I ain't judging. She's a pastor for all people, but Just her whole situation. I don't know if I would. I don't know if she could be leading my flock. That's all I'm saying. She couldn't be leading me. Have me up there
That's
listening.
okay. She's supposed to lead her daughter and not take her down the road she went down. So I had
That's
no
true.
problem with her telling her what DeMarcus, she wants her to learn from her mistakes. That doesn't make her a hypocrite, sir.
Hmm.
Just because she has a baby young don't mean it's supposed to be like, okay, go out there, have sex, and make another one.
Oh, DeMarcus said V has a health condition like B Mickey's mother, Vernell. But I want to know. I just want to know what it is, though. But that's true. Because did we ever know what B Mickey's mama was suffering from?
If we did, DeMarcus probably know.
I was gonna say DeMarcus would know. Portland, hey boo, how are you? Welcome. Kang and Hardy. Thank you so much, DeMarcus, because honestly, I didn't get Kang to the end.
The police,
and I never got the black officer's name.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna hold you.
It was Hardy. Yeah, those were the ones that whooped him.
I knew Kang. I recognized Kang. I didn't know who Hardy was.
Yeah, the big black dude.
Cortland, Brian should stop chasing someone. Yeah, chasing people from city to city. You're gonna get yourself clipped. But I mean, at least he quick on his toes. He still got it. Lucilla is a hypocrite. DeMarcus, I ain't even gonna let you upset my girl like this. Steven said, I understand Nicole was upset with Meech, but she was wrong coming at her mom disrespecting Lucille like that. It was super disrespectful. I think two things can be true at the same time, right? Unfortunately, I ain't even gonna hold you. I've been in that stage in my life, and your parent could be wrong as hell, and I ain't gonna sit up here and act like I wasn't the one to say something back. Now, I ain't gonna say that my mama didn't put hands on me, but I also ain't gonna sit here and act like I wasn't Nicole, and I definitely let her know. Try me. Okay.
I don't see anything wrong with what Lucille said. I just think it was the wrong timing. What you're not about to do is have this conversation with me when
after I just got out of jail. Yeah. Like, I do think her timing was completely wrong.
Yeah, give me some time to like cool down, get over the situation, and then we can talk about me getting caught in the backseat of the vehicle.
Okay, I agree with you.
So Lucille, she is in her pastor role running this church.
Silver and gold. Hey, silver and gold.
Is that what they were singing?
I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold.
Apparently that's what they were singing in the church, y'all.
Yes, girl, that's the jam. I was in it. I was loving it.
And Lucille didn't sound bad. And B. Mickey was there. He ran into Charles. So Charles asked him how he was doing. He said that he's been working overnight at the plant. And he told him, you know what? You're making an honest living. I'm proud of you. B. Mickey said it's different when you make money, but right now he's making ends meet because nobody wants to give up any shifts. Charles said he's been there. And that's why I had to work 3 jobs most of my life. I said, oh, all your life you had to fight, huh? Lucille came over. She said hi and asked what how the family was, and he said V is sick. She has a defect that she had since birth. He said he's working real hard while Alicia is looking over her. He feels like God is punishing her for his sins. And she said, the Lord don't work that way, baby. Okay. And he asked if the church can help out with her next surgery. He said he doesn't have any more hours at the plant to get any health insurance. And she said she'll talk to the board and see if they can pull something together from the benevolent fund. I don't know why, but did it look like
I feel like you're about to ask the same question I was about to ask you, but go ahead.
Charles looked a little aggravated when he asked.
That I was literally getting ready. I was waiting for you to finish so I could ask you, did anybody else peep Charles's facial expressions during this conversation?
He looked a little pissed off.
Why do you think that is, though? Do you think it's because
I think it's because I just told you I worked 3 jobs and bust my ass to do what I need to do for my family. Here you go asking for a handout.
I felt that same way, but at the same time, the baby's being sick. I was kind of like,
it's an emergency situation, but yeah, I definitely picked up on the fact that Charles was not feeling that. And then we have Terry. He's talking to Keisha about Isaac Roberts in South Carolina. She said his past drought pushed him out. So then they went down south to find work and at the ports and discovered it was a untapped market of wealthy elites who love nose candy as much as they love nose jobs. Now, I don't know what the hell that says.
He asked her if he's getting them from the ports, why? What does he want with him? Basically, is what I have.
Basically, she wants to work with the dude because she's the one that pitched him. Okay. Terry said that Terry said, did he ask for that girl or wait? And she said he asked for wait. Okay. I know he's legit. So she said, what time is our meeting? And he told her, yeah, I'm doing this alone because you ain't ready. And she was like, all right, you know what? Whatever. I just want my percentage of all sales moving forward. And he's like, don't worry, you'll get it. I was like, what does that mean? To me, it was giving you get a little and get the hell out. Like, what do you mean? I want my money for real. Like, it was giving.
It was giving eggplant payments. That's what he thought he was gonna give her.
I was like,
he thought he was gonna give her a dick in a mint.
Sir, she ain't playing with you.
Okay. She said, you better leave my money on the dresser. So one thing, and I literally lost the question I had for you. It was sitting at the tip of my tongue. It'll come back. It'll come back. I had a question while you were going through it. Oh, can somebody explain to me in the chat what's the difference between Cocoa Puffs and weight? I thought it was the same thing. I was confused that they separated the two. Is weight the H, the Ron?
Oh no, I thought it was just the terminology. I thought that he was asking what terminology he used to know whether he was actually a dealer or like a setup.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
That's what I assume. Like if he actually said, I really just assumed that he just meant the terminology.
Okay. Cortland said they finally got the Red Dogs going around beating on everyone, right? But they was doing that last time we saw him. Steven said Detective Brian is trying to take down Meech in Atlanta. He's not on the task force. I know, but he's still going at it. Does he really have a job? Is he still even employed, or is this just for fun? Is he just doing?
He lost his job.
That's what I thought too. So I'm like, so you just out here hunting people for fun, like you Dog the Bounty Hunter?
That was his job.
Right. DeMarcus said Lucille can't handle the truth. Y'all are so terrible. Cortland said Lucille should get with Lamar and they should do songs together. I'm with you, Cortland. I am so here for Lamar and Lucille do L&L.
That would never happen.
I would love to see it. I'm going up yonder.
You realize he just pulled out on her two sons the week prior, right?
I wouldn't be, you know what? It'd be so dope. This is how I would write it.
And then he took out Nikki's first boyfriend.
I would have they think Lamar got unalived again, and then they have him in a casket as she's singing over the casket, and then he get up and start singing. Oh, that would be great if I was the writer.
This is not a soap opera, Trace. This is not Beyond the Gates.
So DeMarcus said, I did give Lucille credit for blaming Meech for what's happening to Nicole, though, right? Steven said Meech needs to help B Mickey. I don't care. He's still been down for him last episode. They would have, got unalived by Lamar. And you can't unalive Lamar. He'll be back. Oh, yeah, he will. He on his like 5th live. Like Nell said, he got 9 of them.
I was pissed off that I was pissed off at B Mickey. You so desperate, you asking the church for money, but then when he's handing you an envelope full of cash, you can come beg for your job later, but take the money now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him you want to work it off for something after you have the cash, but you let him walk away with the money. I was so pissed off.
Well,
I couldn't have been Alicia.
Cortland said Aisha.
Oh, Aisha. Whatever.
Look, we don't want to know that girl name. Cortland said Charles thought B Mickey was trying to pow his shot with Luke. Oh, you think so? He tried to shoot a shot with Lucille? I don't think so. Hate to get with a female like Lucille, always trying to make her man jealous. Y'all really on this.
You know what?
Marcy said Isaac Roberts is using cow feces to throw the dogs off. Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I would never want to, not that I do that anyway, but I would never want to.
I would hate to be in the back of that show.
Right. I would hate to consume anything, whether I was getting high or not, that smelled like that. Okay. DeMarcus said, I actually like Markeisha. She was actually right. I bet you do. DeMarcus.
This time he's on the right side. Good job, DeMarcus.
Okay, I don't know what side you on. It's not my side. DeMarcus said Bryant was a transfer to the Atlanta Force. Oh, okay. Thank you for clearing that up, baby. Steven said Jay Pusha moving funny. Meech need to tighten up and listen to Terry. I agree with you. That was something that we found out. So now we see Detective Bryant. He's in this interrogation room, and I guess we can say Hardy and Kang. Now that I know the names because my notes say Red Dogs. They letting them know they've done their research. They know he's a snitch, basically. So and here's another thing, DeMarcus, to your point, if he's on the Atlanta task force, why don't nobody know him? Just asking.
Well, I thought he said he was undercover. That's why he didn't, because they was like,
oh, okay, he's undercover. Okay. I just wanted to figure out.
They was like, well, when we was beating you, why you didn't just say you was a cop? He said he didn't want to blow his cover.
So they asked why he's in Atlanta, and he explains he's there to track down Meech, basically. And so they said, look, we heard of him. But Kang is like, you know what? This is our investigation, and basically stay out of our business. And honestly, when this first happened, I really thought he was saying this because I feel like because they know he's a snitch and they're clearly, in my opinion, moving dirty. I thought they didn't want him involved because they thought maybe he might snitch on them too. Because remember, he was like, I'll do it again.
So, well, I mean, he explained the situation. I mean, saying it was one of their own, and you know how cops get.
Yeah. So Nikki is sitting in the back of the car watching the planes with her boo, virtual co-host. If you want to chime in, I do not know this little boy name. And so, he asked her if she's heard about Lamar. I thought this scene was also weird. And maybe it's just me thinking too deep or too hard. But Nikki really doesn't care for obvious reasons, is what my notes say. But he's asking if the brothers might have had anything to do with it. I was like, why are you? I don't know. It was weird to me, his line of questioning, and you trying to get in her drawers. I just felt like, I don't know. I don't know. It made my light bulb go off. Like, is this little boy really trustworthy? Like, is something, I don't know. It was just weird to me. If I'm reaching, y'all think I'm reaching, that's okay. Everybody got a fishing line, and mine is out there. Okay. So Nikki says that she doesn't care and says, Lamar has ruined so many things in her life. And so she wants to move on because it's his last night before he goes off to Clark. And he tells her all his homeboys are pretty much breaking up with their girls before leaving. So she's like, oh, so is that what you trying to do? And he's like, nah, I'm trying to be with you. And so then Nikki said, it seems like I'm ready. Hey, seems like I'm ready to go all the way.
And it looked like they didn't even go all the way.
Oh, what do you think they did?
I thought the cop interrupted them.
I thought it was after.
Oh, I mean, that confirmed it when she said, because I had sex. I said, oh, you did do it. Okay.
Yeah. And so anyway, yeah, so they end up doing the do, and then they get a knock at the car window, and it's a cop telling them to, ma'am, can you please step out the vehicle with your clothes on, please? Thank you. Please and thank you. All right. So y'all are saying, okay, yes, Brian is undercover. Cortland said, anywhere BMF gonna go, Brian gonna be there. Absolutely. I'll be there. Mm-hmm. Steven said, Brian teaming up with the Red Dogs is gonna be cool to see. I knew Kang was gonna get it, and I kind of wanted him to. They made his character a little over the top for me. I can absolutely agree. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about, DeMarcus? Breeze. Oh, that is the little boy name. Mm-hmm. Thank you, DeMarcus. Appreciate you. Okay. And Nicole is on birth control, as she should be. So we ain't got no bigger issues. Okay, I'm just gonna call the thing a thing. All right, go ahead.
All right. So I mean, real quick, we see Meech in the strip club with his homies. He's telling them about the whole snake and chopping it up about Mexico. I know he mentions a song that he likes. He don't really know who the artist is, but I mean,
it was Purdy or something like that. DJ Purdy or something. I don't know. That's what I saw. DeMarcus don't know.
That they didn't figure that out till the next time.
Oh.
Well, anyways, Charles, he gets a call that the tour has been canceled. Apparently, the tour member needs vocal cord surgery. So, of course, Charles is disappointed because he was looking forward to that money, but he says that he's going to keep him in his prayers. And Lucille apparently heard it all. She said, so How you gonna pay the child support and get us out the red now? He said our kids are grown, and Nicole is off to college. He said there ain't no kids here that need no support, and you got a job now. I'd be like, but you still staying in my house. How about you gonna support your damn self? How about that?
Can I be honest? It was so here's the thing. Nails can tell you. I have a very, very sharp tongue. And if you are on and I am not good with you, I can definitely. So when Lucille did it, I was like, damn, that's a little harsh, like the way she came at him. And so I ain't even gonna hold you. I was kind of, when Charles came back at her with that same type of pettiness, I said, well, I couldn't even, like, because if
he was, listen, he wasn't wrong for what he said.
Right.
You don't need to bring no money in this house.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. Look, you lucky you even here, sir. You lucky. She need therapy. She ain't the one down the street getting her walls painted. Okay. So
not bringing up painting the walls.
So the next call that they received was from poor Nikki baby. Okay. She said she's been arrested. Apparently the car was stolen. So the officer tries to get in her ass about who her brothers are. And she said, look, I'm a Flannery. Okay. But I'm my own damn person. And says she got a full scholarship to Morris Brown. So then he tries to threaten her, talking about, well, if you don't want to lose your scholarship, you'll answer my questions honestly. Sir, bye. Okay. So he's like, well, who gave you the car? She said, my brother, Michael Smith. He's a bastard.
I love this. I love this scene.
He has a different last name than me because my mama used to be out here in these streets back in the day. She was for the streets.
Okay.
So he told her, while I look into this brother, okay, I'm gonna lock your ass up. You 18 in this protocol. So Lucille called Meech and told him what happened. He's like, Mom, I can't get involved. She said, listen, I don't even want your money. Okay, that's what got us in this mess in the first place. I want to let you know you might have destroyed your sister's entire future. So then, he's pissed. He's telling Duffy about what happened. And he's like, the broker told me that it was clean. So he's thinking about pulling all the cars that's in rotation. But he said, you know what? I need to go see her. So Charles, he gets back from the pawn shop and lets Lucille know that all the pawn shops are closed. So Lucille said the only thing they have to do is ask Terry. And, Charles want to act all high and mighty with his broke ass, talking about, we can't do that. You the lead pastor, and he's on tour with a gospel group. She said, you mean was?
Now that for me, I was like, damn, Lucille. But I can't even hold you. When he said that would be something I would do.
Look, it's 2-1, okay? So she told him if he wasn't too busy chasing pipe dreams and instead providing for his family, we might not be in this situation. And told him he should have been focused on keeping his last child. What?
Keeping his last child alive and out of jail.
Alive. I think it was supposed to say unalive, from being
not unalive, right? Yeah, because that's what mine said.
Mine says being unloved. From being unalived or in jail. She said, oops, looks like you failed at the last part. And she told him that he needs to get on his knees and go back to his job back at the plant. Okay.
All right, let me get into some of these comments. Cortland said, like Tommy did to Holly, Charles needs to do that to Lucille in one scene. No. And honestly, and let me tell you something, Lucille is not no Holly. I believe Lucille will whoop that ass. Okay, she'll put up a good fight, but we don't condone violence over here at Shadeinthecity. Okay,
Steve, not all of us.
Not all of us. Steven said, Markeisha, she gonna be part of Meech and Terry being at odds, of course, because you already know she's gonna be whispering in Terry's ear, planting those seeds. Already sowing seeds of mistrust between them. Absolutely agree. Hey Jeremiah, what's up, boo? Lucille is trash, and she's a hypocrite. I don't know why y'all come up in here trying to start with nails today.
Why she's a hypocrite? She's being a mother. She doesn't want her child. She wants her child to learn from her messed up mistakes. That's not a hypocrite.
Look,
I
Jeremiah,
made
don't come up.
mistakes.
Don't come. You know she'll start with you. She'll get it started.
I made mistakes, and I don't want you to make the same ones. That doesn't make her a hypocrite, boo.
And yeah, y'all, if y'all came in late, please make sure you already hit that like button for us. Cortland, Lucille was about to unalive Nicole when they got home, right?
Yes, she was.
Duffy got them cars from Alexandra. Is that the girl name? Thank you for letting me know. Before I get into it, VKJ Lucky is my favorite character. So first of all, I ain't even gonna hold you. I noticed that Nell skipped over it, but I realized I was like, "Who's Lucky and why do we care?" So I ain't even say nothing. I ain't even mention it. Lucky is the stripper that met Meech at Palace and we took him to the back. Yeah, you went over past that, and I was like, "Well, I ain't even gonna say nothing." Steven says Purdy gonna start the music label storyline. I can already tell Trell is gonna be one annoying self character. Okay. Team Lawanda and Nicole. Okay.
Seriously?
Look, she give me a side eye, Steven. DeMarcus said
Steven.
Lucille was wrong for talking to Charles like that.
I strongly disagree.
Well, I cannot. Lucky was in last season. Oh, was she in last season?
Yeah, she was. Now that I remember, it's a strip. When I seen her in a strip club and he was all mesmerized by her. Yeah, I remember her from last season. I just was like, okay, she just some stripper chick. It was, yeah. I didn't think it was worth my notes.
Got you. Did you get into Meech and Nicole, or what you call it, Lucille calling him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then we move on to who's sleeping outside the plant in his car, and B Mickey rolls up on him and is like, "Man, stop following me." And so he says, "Look, if Terry and Meech want to talk to me, they can come talk to me themselves." And then he's like, "And plus, do they realize how much of a sorry right hand they got? Because you out here sleeping on the job." And he said, basically, "I caught you sleeping on the job." And he was like, "Well, at least I ain't get caught." I said, "Oh, talk about sparring." Okay. I'm here for it. Red wig makes a difference. Bye, VKJTV. Is that what she had on, the red wig? Lucky.
Who we talking about? Lucky?
He's still on Lucky. They still talking about Lucky.
I didn't even make it to my notes. I just know she had a big old booty.
She did have a nice booty, though.
And I remember her being, yeah. I mean, I remember her being a stripper. And she went back to the hotel.
Who was the one? So I guess she doesn't matter to me, because who was the one that he was dealing with? Angel, wasn't it?
Huh? The stripper that he was actually, yes.
Yeah.
That's why I was just like, because I think she was the one from last season that went back to the hotel with him before, when you remember when they got
oh yeah.
I think she's the same stripper, but I mean,
y'all are so funny. Y'all men are hilarious. Because how do y'all even remember her?
It's giving she's there for the freak offs. So I mean,
okay, I don't know how the F-offs caught astray. Demarcus said Trail Purdy producer is giving Diddler vibes. Woo, okay.
Demarcus caught it too.
Look, maybe she was just there for the hotel nights. So Demarcus, Purdy's character symbolizes Blue Da Vinci, the first artist of BMF. Okay, all right, thank you, boo boo. So then Detective Bryant gets a call from, I'm gonna say it was Hardy. Oh, thank you. Oh no, because it does say the officer interrogating Nicole. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Explains what went down and that the car came from Atlanta, and then basically he gives him an address to go look into it. And so we know Detective Bryant is thirsty and he on it. And then we basically see Charles. He goes down to the pawn shop and basically begs the man to give him some money so he can get Nicole out of jail. And that's what I got for that.
Yeah. So then we see Terry. He met up with Isaac. He told him that he wants to hear about his process to make sure he can move what he's supplying. He said that he owns a trucking company and he has warehouses all over the state, and keeps the canines off his scent by using cow manure. Pew. Mm-hmm. Terry told him that he'll start off with 50, but he'll be dealing strictly with Markeisha since she's the one that made the introduction. And he said Markeisha is a fine businesswoman, real fine. Terry said, let me give you a bit of advice, homeboy. Okay. Last dude that tried to mess with Markeisha, boom, put a hood out on both of them. And he would know. Okay. So basically he was like, okay, got it. Look, but don't touch. Look, Terry, you being territorial, ain't you, sir?
Mm-hmm.
So then Hoop came in and he told him that they got to talk because he just had words with Mickey. And I felt like I got to
Bless you.
Oh, thanks. All right. So Meech and Duffy went to go see the broker about the car. She said, well, he said, you know, my sister's sitting in jail for the car that you said was clean. This Honda that you said was clean. And she was like, I was told that it was clean. And then they see Detective Brian coming in and he asked where the back door was and basically told her, listen, don't say nothing to that guy that's coming in. And, you know, you keep quiet, Duffy will bring you some money later on today. So she met Detective Brian at the door and he let her know what? And he let her know he let her know who he was and asked her if he sold a Honda and to the guy in the picture. And she said no. She said she sold a Honda recently, but not to him. So then he's like, okay, well, maybe I'll just have to go through your sales records. And she said, yeah, not without a warrant, you won't be. Okay. And tell him, you have a nice day. Bye, Bookie.
I loved it. Let's see. Somebody DeMarcus said Lucky is honestly trash too. She threw Angel under the bus last season, but didn't Angel need to be thrown under the bus? Wasn't she getting ready to throw our boy Meech under the bus, or am I confusing things? Am I messing up storylines?
My thing is, I mean, why are we expecting so much from people in this line of work?
I don't know.
They go where the money reside. Where the money
reside. DeMarcus said Terry probably uses B Mickey to protect Markeisha. Okay, I can see that. Cortland said Markeisha probably why Terry got arrested. I don't know what he sees in her. Cortland, I don't understand it either.
Men like trouble.
But I feel like I mean, and this is really no shade to Lala. But I really feel like all of her roles are just so we can get her in as less clothes as possible.
Well, because she's a baddie. Now,
and that's fine. But when
if we want to talk about somebody being a baddie, I mean, I could talk about Markeisha all day. I'm not about to sit here and talk about Lucky.
Right, that part. Steven said Brian walked away at the airport thinking can't work with these scrubs. Right. Ever since they unalived Brian's partner, he hates Meech. No, I think it was more about his son. I mean, Jen was definitely a thing, but I think his son is what did it to him. DeMarcus said Lucky was jealous of Angel. You're right. I do remember that. Jeremiah said Meech ruined his sister's future. He absolutely did. So now basically we see
Did that mess up her scholarship?
I think and Jeremiah or DeMarcus would probably know. And I'm sure if VKJ is still in the chat, real life story wise, did that mess up Nicole going to college? I feel like one of y'all would really know. But anyway, so we see Duffy, him and Meech leave and they're all surprised. And he's surprised to see Meech so shook, basically. So he basically tells him, look, man, we got to get rid of these cars. And so he was like, well, how are we going to do that when we need to move this product? And he was like, the last time that we was late or, behind getting Jay Pusher his stuff, he threatened to, wet us up. All right. And so Meech said, I ain't worried about that, man. Do you know who I am? I done seen God. I am anointed. Okay. And so, so they decide that that's how they doing things. And I'm assuming that's how we got to the plane part of it. I don't know. So anyway, so we see Charles and this is what everybody been waiting for. Okay. So we see Charles and Lucille bring Nikki home from jail and Nikki throws a jacket on the couch. And Lucille said, hang it up or put it up or put it on, do something. All right. And so then she mentions that the police told her what she was doing in the car. And so she was like, you should be ashamed of yourself. And Nicole points out, I was in jail because Meech gave me a stolen car and I'm in trouble for having sex. And so Lucille tells her, Meech don't live here. And you too young to be running around here screwing around in cars. So Nicole tells her, you know what? You getting real high and mighty. And your little fancy church robes must be getting to your head. I said, this when she said that, that's when I knew hands was about to be thrown. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells her, look, I can do what I want. And reminds Lucille at her age, you were already on baby number 1 or number 2. I said, ooh. At this point, Charles jumps in because Lucille done lunged at the girl. And so he steps in between. So he said, Nicole, go upstairs. Go now. Save your life. Jump out the window. Roll down it. Go. Okay. And so then Charles, he tells Lucille, look, you can extend all this grace to your church family, but you can't show some for your own. And I said, that's right. I'm here for it. And then we see Detective Bryant at his apartment. He gets a knock at the door, and of course it's Hardy. He tells him that he's there to talk, and so Brian shows. So basically, Brian's a little bit worried. He comes to the door with his weapon, like, "What you want? What y'all really want?" You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Shout out to DMX. And then anyway, so Bryant's so he tells him that he knows his boy Kang, can be a lot. But he said, we do know who Meech is, and they, caught him, searched his vans, all this other stuff, and they weren't able to nail him. And so he says that he does have a connect with the airport, and he knows about a shipment coming in from Colombia the next day. And so he proposes that, why don't we work together so we can help clean up these streets. All right, hold on, let me get into these comments. Hey, Lauren, welcome. I don't know what Miss Lucille on, but Nicole was correct. Oh, okay.
No, she needed to keep them comments to herself, because let me tell you something. She'd have went from jail to the hospital.
Oh, okay, hold on. Where are we at? Markeisha is definitely hotter than Lucky. Absolutely. Steven said Jay Pusha underestimating the connection with Meech and his plug. He forgot why his little bro still breathing already. This won't end well for him. Oh, I definitely think I kind of knew Jay Pusha was getting ready to go. No, Nicole got pregnant in real life.
Because she don't listen. Because look, Trace, because you don't listen.
Jeremiah said if Nicole gets a charge on her record, she's done. Oh, you're saying that would mess up her scholarship. Okay. Cortland said Meech and Terry ruined everything for their no, they really have, like, literally since she's been a little girl. Steven said B Mickey should take that money from Terry.
I was pissed off he didn't.
Steven said Charles gave Nicole a couple minutes to cook before telling her to go stage. He said, let her cook.
Yes, I did. He was shut for a second. He's like, what? How far is this gonna go?
Steven said Lucille wanted to lay a different type of hands on Nicole, and she dropped that soul burning slow. Yeah. Cortland said Lucille better chill before Nicole do a Tariq on her. Oh, no, not Nicole. Nicole got more sense than that. DeMarcus said Nicole exposed Lucille for the hypocrite she is, and Charles checked her. Okay.
Y'all. All right. So Meech told Duffy they're all set with Loco and asked about why I say the chicken at the car place.
The chick at the car place.
The chick at the car place.
I was like, the chicken and the egg? What are you talking about?
Oh my God, Siri. You know what? Look, let me shut up before she come up on my screen. Duffy said she held them down. But she thinks that Brian is coming back with a warrant for them sales records. So he says the workers won't come back. Won't come back to him because he used an alias. But they said they need to know exactly what his sister said, what exactly the name was that his sister told the police, so they can all be on the same page. So Meech calls Nikki and apologized and said, he'll make it up to her. She's like, no, I'm good. You've done enough. Okay. Thank you, DeMarcus. Alexandra. Okay.
I said he really wanted you to know that name. I literally.
The chick is Alexandra, but I bet you if I would have said it, Siri probably still would have butchered it. So he said, you know what? I know you held it down, but I need to know the name of that concert promoter that I'm sure people have been asking you for. And she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, the name of that concert promoter that gave you them concert tickets. So she's like, it was Michael Smith. Michael Smith is the name of the damn promoter. Okay. So he's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. She said, F you, Meech.
Can I be honest? And I ain't even gonna hold you.
What?
That would have went so far over my head. Meech would have hung up the phone on me. He would have had to. He would have had to.
Him and Terry used to do it all the time.
What? Talk to her like that?
No, to each other.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Right, but her. She's not in the light. That's why I would have been. That would have went so far over my head. He would have, and I would have been like, Meech, I'm not going to no concert. Like, you know me. I would have been like, I'm not going to no concert. Is Chris Brown coming? What are you talking about? Is Beyonce coming? I wouldn't have known. I would have no idea what he was talking about. That would have went so far over my head. I ain't even gonna hold you. Charles will definitely get a warrant to press Alexandra. Charles, you mean Bryant. Yeah, I could definitely see that. You are funny. So then we see Charles. He going to grab his uniform. He going back to the plant, y'all. Lucille done talk some sense into him, and he realized that he got to go back and get to his good job because singing ain't paying. And then we jump over to Kang and Detective Bryant. They apparently have decided they're going to go out and surveil the airplane and airport because they're hoping to catch Meech, of course. And so Kang wants to move in all hostile, like real hasty, and Detective Bryant, he don't listen. Okay. And so he's like, nah, man, I don't think that's a good idea. And so Kang's like, I'm the chief. Okay. Of this tribe. So we're going to do what I say. So then they run up on the men, and then, of course, the men ain't even trying. I was expecting a whole pow out, right? Like we see like Scarface or something. I was expecting to see that. But they didn't even really look like they had nothing. They just got out the plane with their hands up, but they just moved too soon for them. And so next thing we know, they, as we know, Popo do. So they just start firing off. And in the midst of fire, I think another officer actually ended up unaliving Kang. And so, yeah, and that's what, and then they did all that only to check the plane. There's nothing on the plane. And, yeah, Meech and Duffy are watching from afar. And so he's like, I know this man, because he followed me. He ain't nothing changed. Okay. Just the zip code. I know how he moved. So we just gotta stay one step ahead of him pretty much. And I was like, well, and then where my notes end, because I ain't finished the last 10 minutes, is we see
there was one part that you missed.
Oh, what did I miss?
When Terry went to go see Markeisha.
Oh no, I have that next. That's why I said that's the last of my notes. And so then Terry drops by on Markeisha unexpectedly. He just walks in. He's like, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" And he was like, "Bitch, I bought this house. Please believe I got a key. I don't know what you thought." And so he's like, "Okay, by the way,
you cool with coming in and seeing me do the deal with whoever,
right?
Because do it again. That's what's gonna happen next time."
Okay. So he said, look, I met up with Isaac and you were right about him. And I also let him know that he's going to be reporting to you. And so, of course, this makes her happy. And I think Terry thought he was going to get some, but Markeisha just lets him know, make sure you knock next time you come over, brother.
Thank you for your services.
Thank you for your services.
Remember how he played her last time? She said, one up you, boo.
Steven said, Lucille has never came at Meech like that, but she come hard for everyone else. I don't like their mom. Now, Steven, I am going to say that. I think I pointed that out before. I don't like the fact. I think that was like, it's just wrong. Even I think I said that when she was, oh, where's Meech? Where's Meech? Where's Meech? At Nicole's graduation party. And I was like, it's supposed to be about Nicole. So I've always thought that there's been some type of disconnect there. DeMarcus said, Charles and B. Mickey will be working together at the plant. Yep. Steven said Nicole and Charles are the only one that keep it real in that family. Well, I don't know about Charles, Steven. I can't give you Charles, but I can give you Nicole. And maybe I'm not mistaken, but doesn't Charles end up going to work for Meech and Terry after protesting? As long as he did, doesn't he end up working for them? Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all can correct me. DeMarcus said Kane got hit with that friendly fire. Mm-hmm. Bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye. VKJ said it was a setup. Mm-hmm. to get Kangaroo too. Who's Kangaroo?
Kang.
Oh, okay. I like that Kangaroo. That was cute. DeMarcus said we need to watch. Did you say, please Tulips? Oh, the female red dog. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, did you say Twalips? I'm like, what is going on? Okay, tulips. I get what you're saying. Tulips. Okay. Jeremiah said Terry should have not bought her that house. Y'all don't get me started on the Marquisha slander because y'all know I don't see it for that girl, and we'll be up here for another hour talking about how I think Terry's stupid behind her. The look, nose wide open, vacay J. Yeah,
Like,
she can't be trusted.
It just be like this sometimes.
Cortland said that guy that Lucille was seeing, Maurice didn't he have a fiance? Yes, he did. Or was it a wife? No, it was a fiance. It was a fiance. Charles could help Purdy in Atlanta. Possibly. I feel like at some point he either comes and does music with them or he ends up, I don't know if he'll sell it. Maybe he'll drive some cars. I don't know. But I felt like in real life he ends up actually going to work for them. But go ahead, Nails. Take us out.
All right. So Terry met up with B. Mickey at the playground while his daughter was playing in the sandbox. He starts talking about how him and Meech's first memories are in the sandbox. And Terry's like, well, ain't that some mess? Remember, y'all wouldn't even let me play with y'all. Look at how the tables have turned. B. Mickey said he ain't no snitch, and that's a fact. That was Brian doing his thing. So Terry said, why would you think after all this time you can come show up and talk to me and Meech? And he said, because I want back in. He said, so he's like, is that why you smoked Lamar? To get in our good graces? He said, I wasn't going to let him hurt my family. Terry told him, listen, boo, you ain't part of this family no more. Okay. So then Terry tried to give him some money. And he said, no, I'm good. I want to earn it. So Terry took off with the damn envelope of money. You big dummy. You should have took the envelope. Okay. And said, look, I want to work this off. Or I want to work for the next amount or whatever. Thanks for the next amount. I want to work for it. But you going to ask the church for a handout, but when Terry is actually handing it to you and your baby needs surgery, you ain't going to take it. Oh, yeah. B. Mickey pissed me off with that one.
Yeah, that was stupid.
So then we see Meech back at the strip club, loving the song that they playing. And then he finally sees the girl who made the song, Purdy. And says she's not being treated like an artist, and went over to go talk to her. You know, he got to do his thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he was like, why they got you drinking this cheap mess? And she's like, oh, he keep all the good stuff for himself. And that's who produced the album. So then he said, no disrespect. Also, what the hell they got you wearing? Okay. And she was like, you know, that's all the money they got. That's all they can afford. So then he poured her a glass of his expensive champagne. Okay. He said, this is your album release party. We ain't drinking no cheap stuff over here. We're going to send that back to Trail. And she was like, that's just going to piss him off. And he was like, all right, he already pissed me off. Then he got all hypnotized by Lucky dancing on a pole and basically took her back to the hotel room.
He love a stripper, don't he?
Yeah, boy, he loved them strippers. Yeah,
like, I just feel like you can't deal with nobody else. Like, what happened to the nice real estate lady? Like, why can't we get with somebody with some type of...
Because he wants somebody that's in that fast money life. So then I guess she tried to get him to do a bump, but I didn't see him doing that. But he said he don't do that. But then she gave him something that said named Blue Dolphin. She said it'll keep him up all night. But it looked like it really just...
Not that Blue Dolphin.
It looked like it made him high.
Okay? No, you know what that is, right?
No.
It's ecstasy.
Is it?
You might correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but from my time in Miami, if I remember, because that's when you said Blue Dolphin, that's when my head popped. I was like, I recognize that name. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Or it's some of that. Yeah, that's why he was high.
It's supposed to keep you up all night?
Well, yeah, because it's laced with, it has, it's a mixture of stuff, but it's, supposed to make you love and feel and, but yeah, it keeps you up. It keeps you up until you come down. Yeah.
Everybody say that's what it is.
Yep. That's what they telling you in the chat. Yep. That's what it is.
So I guess Meech's work went over to Jay Pusher, but now he's trying to figure out how to push Meech out the picture. Since he the one with the hanger, he the one he's like, what the hell we need Meech for? Okay, basically we could take all the work, all the money. We don't even need that man no more. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the episode.
KJ said, once the label starts, Charles will become a part of it. Okay, thank you. I knew it was something to that extent. Steven said, why do I feel like Terry is getting set up? I didn't trust Isaac, who Markeisha set him up with. Thank you. Because I just don't trust her, and I don't understand why he trusts her. Maybe it's good he has to answer to her, but something doesn't feel right about Isaac. Well, he want to smash, so that's never good. DeMarcus said, y'all knocked Terry for dealing with Markeisha. However, Lucky got Meech doing the Blue Dolphin. What is worse? Oh, I already told you. I don't know why Meech settles for that type of, but hey, whatever. Steven, you're right. T talked too much. Cortland, yeah, almost everyone would have took the envelope. I don't know what T was doing. I mean, B Mickey was doing. DeMarcus said, Purdy's song sounds like It's Like That by Mariah Carey and Fat Man School. I know you noticed you said that a couple times. I'm gonna let you get that out there, but I can't agree. Becky said T is worse. He got a whole house, bro. Oh yeah, for that girl. Steven said, I agree with. Okay, y'all talking to each other. Wild work. The producer is lame. Lucky is garbage. Y'all is Lucky. This is how Meech starts his beefs, taking over other dudes' girls, right? And can I tell y'all something? Literally, when we moved to Miami, that is all we heard about this man. That's what he was known for. And they were like, if he come up in there and he mess with somebody and the fight break, just make sure you were nowhere in sight, because a fight will break out. And that was that is absolutely true. Now that I can tell you is a real life thing. That is a real life thing, because we were warned about that. Vacay said, Lucky, finest. Okay, you know what, Vacay, go to bed. Jeremiah said she was trying to do a freak off. Bye, Jeremiah. Y'all are stupid. DeMarcus said, Lucky about to turn Meech into it. I don't know if he'll be. Well, I think he is going. I think he might turn into the diddler. I think he might start using them because he's always around in the strip club around these women. And yeah, and I mean, he's still young, but you got to keep it going somehow. Cortland said Jay Pusher may have gone, maybe gone soon playing with Meech like that. I agree, Cortland. Yeah, y'all say Jay Pusher got to go. DeMarcus said Meech doing drugs is worse because he's high. I agree. Jeremiah said they're going to go to LA this season too, so it's going to get worse with Meech and the girls. She said, oh, you lived through BMF. I think we came like right towards right before they got locked up. Like right before they got locked up. We weren't in Miami too long. We were probably maybe there a year, but I just remember that was like the buzz. Like you heard his name and we were real big and nightlife. And I used to be a promoter in a nightclub on South Beach. So we were, every day there's a different club you hit and whatever. But that was one of the things they were like, yeah, Meech is always starting to fight because he always messing with somebody, bitch. So be careful, right? Baby oil and X. Stop it, y'all terrible. But yeah, y'all. So we appreciate y'all. If you want to drop any last minute comments in the chat, DeMarcus, Terry will be pissed that Loco's shipment went to St. Louis to Jay Pusher instead of Terry. Y'all have to stop hating on Charles though and hate Lucille instead. Cortland, bye. I can't. Jeremiah said, I wonder if they'll get renewed since Meech and 50 Cent. No, they're not getting renewed, Jeremiah. This is the final season.
The final countdown.
Yeah, this is the final. Like this, no. However, I will say this. I would like to see, if possible, if somebody wanted to pick it back up. Depending on how it ends, I wouldn't mind seeing like another network or somebody else pick it back up. I don't know what y'all think. Steven said, B Mickey, if he never did what he did, I believe that Meech and Terry would have helped him or more. And I really doubt that Meech or Terry or that poor baby really needs his help. Thank you, Vacay.
Thank you.
This is not the fight. You don't think this is the final season? I thought season 4 was the final season, DeMarcus. 50 Cent said it's done. You telling me I'm lying?
Or that 50 Cent is lying?
Or 50 Cent is lying? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll get up here and tell you I'm wrong. But to my knowledge and based off what 50 said, it was over. It's over now. If I'm wrong, and maybe I'm too early, maybe they mean next season and not this season, but I could have sworn it was this season.
He said 50 was trolling.
Okay, he said 50 was trolling. Okay. If y'all telling me I'm wrong, Jeremiah said, I hope it's the final season. Anyway, I believe it's ran its course. I'm kind of with that too. Depending on how things turn out, like at the end of the season, I don't know if we really need any more, being honest, but it is what it is. But thank y'all so much for coming through. Y'all have a wonderful week. Be safe. And again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, all the kings. We appreciate everything that you do. And yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week for another recap of the B, the M, and the F. Have a good night. Bye-bye.